Hello.
Hi, is this Tina?
Yes.
Hi, Tina. Good morning. My name is Fred. I'm calling from the Fred Show, the morning radio show. The whole crew is here, and I have to tell you that we are on the radio right now, and I would need your permission to continue with the call. Can we chat for just a second on the air? You can hang up at any time.
Okay.
I know. It's a little bit awkward, and we appreciate you talking with us. We're calling on behalf of a guy who reached out to us. His name is Ed. You met him on Bumble, I guess. Do you remember meeting Ed and hanging out with him?
Yeah, we went on a date.
Okay. So he reached out to us and told us about you and that you had met and that he liked you and that he thought the date was successful. I guess you went back to his place, but he hasn't heard from you since the date, and it's bothering him because he wanted to see you again. So what's going on? Why are you ignoring him, or are you ignoring him?
Yeah, he wasn't for me.
What does that mean?
You guys aren't going to believe this story. Okay.
No, I might believe it because we've been doing this for a while. So, yeah, no, I'm all ears. No, fill me in, Tina.
Well, we met on Bumble, and we went out and had a really nice dinner, and then he invited me back to his house, which is fine. And then things got a little weird. Like, he had told me he was moving, so I knew that going in, right? And that was fine. But at one point I went to move a box out of the way, and he said, "Be careful with that. That's my dogs."
That's your in the box. There's a box and the dogs are okay. What does he mean? What does he mean by that?
I thought maybe he was joking, but he wasn't. So he proceeded to tell me then that he dug up his 2 dogs that had died that were buried in the backyard when he moved. And I was kind of in shock because that feels crazy to me. And so I just told him that I needed to get up early, and I got out of there.
Do you know, what was the plan there? Was he going to, like, rebury them or what? I don't know. What was he going to do there?
I think so.
Well, you know, here to tell us what he was going to do is Ed. I did forget to mention that Ed is here. Ed, I don't think that's a typical thing to do. I don't think people do that. So you buried them at your old place, and you're like, I want to take them with me, so you brought them with you?
Yeah, I mean, I've had those dogs since they were, like days after they were born, right?
Oh, okay, but they're no longer with us. They're in heaven now. So
yeah, no, I gathered that, but it's not like they were, they weren't buried for very long, and I plan on staying at this place for
what in the Ed Gein? Stop.
Bro.
Listen,
I'm listening.
It's kind of like poltergeist. Like, you don't just move the headstones and leave the bodies there. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, they might, go to put in a pool or something, and then they're just gonna dig up and discard Coca and Toto. I can't have that happen.
Coca.
Okay. Well, what?
No, he made a good point about them. What if they try to dig up for a pool and find his dogs?
I feel like that's somebody else's issue. I mean, he buried the remains, and the dogs are gone, and it's not something that it's not transferable. We don't just move, like, if I bury, grandma, and then I move to another city, I don't just take grandma with me. Grandma stays where grandma is.
Good point.
Sorry, Nana, but I'll come visit,
okay
but you
grandma,
still... What?
You okay with grandma getting discarded for a pool?
I mean, I certainly hope that doesn't happen, but,
maybe we should, put them in, a doggy graveyard and leave them.
Right.
Not in, your backyard.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but, I'm just not okay with them being discarded by the next owner if they, go to dig up the septic system or put in a pool or whatever.
But they're gone, bro. Like, that's just the physical remains. Like, they're not there anymore. I've never, ever heard of this.
And listen, it might just be the physical remains, but they were members of my family. All right.
No one is discounting that.
I'm not the guy who puts the dogs chained up outside in the yard then just.
That's very nice of you. We're talking about 2 totally different things here. You got a box full of your dogs. And they're in, and it's inside your house.
How did they get?
And it's in your house, like, bro. Did you had the moving company move them? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm treating them like family, right? The way you're acting like these are just,
No, I'm not.
Animals,
no,
right?
But while they're alive, that's how you treat them. My issue is what you're doing with them after the fact.
I'm burying them. They're being buried. That is my plan either tomorrow or the next day, maybe even today. I'm choosing a spot in the yard that I think will be appropriate.
Let's stop putting them in people's yards. Let's stop putting them in the yards, friend. I think that's the wrong step. You wouldn't put grandma in your yard.
Well, and here's the other thing, Ed. Like, so you're going to do this, fine. I don't know that first of all, I don't know what they're doing in your house. Second of all, maybe that's not something that we talk to people about or tell them about. Maybe that's something that we just do if we must do it. Because I can see why Tina's like, oh, really? There's a box of remains in your house? Like, that's weird. Are you doing it right now? Are you digging a hole right now? Like, what are you doing?
No, that's not, that sound isn't from me. I don't know what that was.
Okay.
I could hear it too, but,
Sure.
I just, listen, like, I feel like you should be treating them no different than you would a family member. And there's not a lot of pet cemeteries around. That's not a hugely common thing.
Well, then cremate them.
I'm limited in. I could. I've had some cremated before. But I also have.
All your dogs go missing.
Right.
All right.
How many dogs?
Yeah.
Listen, some dogs only live for like 7 years. I've had a life.
I am all for treating animals like family. This is another level, I think, and I think most people who treat animals like family would see that the same way. Tina, I'll ask the question. There's your explanation. Would you like to go out with him again? Hopefully, he can handle this situation before you go over again. We'll pay for the date.
Yeah, I'm not planning on keeping them in the living room forever.
I'm trying to get you another date, Ed. I don't think it's going to work, but Tina, it's Tina's time to talk. It's her turn. Would you like to go out with Ed again?
No, thank you.
Okay, girl.
Be more clear.
Gonna end up in the yard in a box.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah, it's just not for me.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
I understand. Tina, thank you for answering and for your time. Ed, you do you, man, and good luck out there.